Last week on the show, we brought you a bit of history from Qazvin, that was the capital of Persia for a while during the 16th century. Qazvin was along the Silk Road and therefore en route various caravans traveling from different places from around the world. Some of the caravans have left a piece of themselves as they traveled in this ancient city. In Qazvin, there are memories from the Russian Tsar era.
Qazvin city is located 160 kilometers away from the Iranian capital, Tehran. If you ever travel to this city, one of the places that you would definitely be advised to visit would be the Qazvin Palace, a building with 40 columns situated in the middle of a beautiful Persian garden. Follow me, let's have a look together. The octagonal monument was a Safavid pavilion where Shah Tahmasp I resided to rest and to rule his empire. 2 decades after the Safavids, the Qajars added an extra floor to the building, surrounded by balconies all around, with sash windows and wooden columns that helped the roof of the upper floor. In fact, the building was a part of a greater royal complex that was painfully destroyed during Reza Shah I's Pahlavi monarch, under the pretext of creating government buildings and academies.
این کوشک در واقع اسم اصلیش اوروشیخانه یا عمارت کلاهفرنگی هست که سالهای اخیر به اسم 40 ستون معروف شده، چون کاخ که به 40 ستون معروف بوده در دولتخانه صفوی متأسفانه تخریب شده و اسمش رو روی این کاخ گذاشتن.
40 ستون was built on the basis of Islamic architecture. Despite severe damage to the building's interior decoration through centuries and radical changes made by each dynasty, the remains of exquisite Persian illustrations and plasterworks that belong to different periods of Iran's history still influence every visitor who steps into the palace. Persian kings usually led lavish lifestyles. They spent huge amounts of money on building palaces and redecorating them. Here inside the Qazvin Sultan Palace, you can see 3 different layers of interior ornamentations. Paintings that also included gold. The first layer here belongs to the Shah Tahmasp era, the Safavid king who initially built this place 450 years ago. There is also another layer up there. It belongs to the Shah Abbas era, when he ordered to cover the previous layer with another layer of plaster and told his artists to start repainting the interior of this building once again, this time according to his taste. Years later, the same thing happened with Nasiruddin Shah, the Qajar king. He added another thick layer of plaster to the previous 2 other layers and told his artists to start redrawing, this time Qajar style, so that he could get a better feeling whenever he came here and visited Qazvin. Since 2005, Qazvin Sultan serves as a calligraphy museum. About 1796, Agha Muhammad Khan, the founder of the Qajar dynasty, established Qazvin as a major base for foreign trade with the Caspian Sea, the Persian Gulf and Anatolia. That was when buildings of the city began to change in architecture. Today, the house of Imam Jom'eh, the city's Friday prayer leader of that time, has been partially preserved as one of the symbols of Qajar architecture in Qazvin. One of the most outstanding attractions in the facade of the house of Imam Jom'eh are these sash windows called orosi in Persian. The orosi was an inseparable element in traditional Persian architecture of the Qajar era, but only used in the houses of the elite. The master craftsman carefully clicked pieces of wood together like a puzzle, amazingly without the application of any glue or nails. The Imam Jom'eh house now serves as an administrative office of a department responsible for preserving the historical gardens of the city. Behind the large central orosi lies the building's main hall that faces the courtyard.
استان قزوین به لحاظ آثار تاریخی ثبت شده و رسمی رتبه اول کشور رو داره. به لحاظ مکانهای طبیعی و همینطور مذهبی مجموعاً 3000 نقطه برای بازدید و گردش و دیدن در استان ما داریم.
The more you look, the more you discover. The Kontor Church is the smallest church of Iran and the third smallest in the world. The Orthodox architecture of its building reveals its Russian identity. The Kontor Church was in fact built by the Russians during their invasion of Iran in World War II.
Acerca de los monumentos, por decir así, las mezquitas, los palacios, etcétera, de Irán, que son impresionantes, y de la gente que es maravillosa. Son amigables, simpáticos, y la verdad es que cuando les pides ayuda en lo más mínimo o en algo más importante, te ayudan siempre, e incluso te acompañan si no saben explicarte porque no hablan inglés. Fantásticos, una gente encantadora.
Time will be your most valuable item if you want to visit this historic city, because Qazvin seems to be endless. Visiting this remarkable city is a whole new experience for every traveler looking for a different glimpse and a different taste of Iran. Amir Mehdi Kazemi for Iran.